Have you ever wondered what it's like to live in Paris, the city of love? A city that whispers tales of romance and history through every cobblestone street, every ornate bridge and every quaint cafe. Paris, the city that's been an inspiration for countless artists, writers and dreamers. The city where time seems to slow down, allowing you to savor the beauty of life in all its splendid forms. A city that's as diverse as it is unified, as modern as it is ancient, as bustling as it is tranquil. Imagine walking down the bustling boulevards lined with trees, their leaves rustling in the breeze like a soft symphony. The aroma of freshly baked baguettes wafts from a nearby boulangerie, mingling with the scent of blooming flowers from the roadside florist. Or picture yourself at the foot of the Eiffel Tower, its latticed iron structure reaching up into the sky like a beacon of human ingenuity. The tower, a symbol of Paris, has watched over the city for over 100 years, a silent witness to the city's ever-evolving story. But Paris is more than just the Eiffel Tower. It's the Louvre, home to some of the world's most famous artworks, where you can lose yourself in the mesmerizing gaze of Mona Lisa or marvel at the grandeur of the Venus de Milo. It's the River Seine, a lifeline that flows through the heart of the city, its banks a favorite spot for lovers, artists and philosophers alike. And then there's the romantic image of Paris, the one that's been immortalized in countless movies, songs and novels. The image of a city where love seems to hang in the air, where every street corner seems to hold the promise of a new adventure, a new story. However, beyond the Eiffel Tower and the Louvre, beyond the romanticized image, there's a whole other side to Paris that isn't quite as well known. A side that we'll delve into to truly understand what it means to live in the city of love. So stick around as we embark on this journey together to unravel the many layers of Paris. Imagine waking up to the aroma of fresh croissants baking at the corner boulangerie. That's a typical morning in Paris, a city where the day begins with the simple pleasures of life. A Parisian day is not about rushing through tasks, but rather, a steady progression of experiences. The morning routine often starts with a leisurely stroll to the local boulangerie for a warm baguette or a flaky croissant. This isn't merely a breakfast run, it's a ritual that reflects the importance of food in French culture. It's about taking the time to appreciate the craft of the baker, the smell of freshly baked bread, and the simple joy of starting the day with something delicious. As the day progresses, Parisians might head off to work or spend their day at one of the city's many parks, museums, or cafes. Lunch is not a quick bite, but a hearty meal, often enjoyed with friends or colleagues, where conversations flow as easily as the wine. The afternoon might be spent exploring a local market. These markets are not just places to buy groceries, they're a celebration of French culinary traditions. From the vibrant colors of fresh vegetables to the alluring scent of cheese, these markets are a sensory delight. They represent the heartbeat of the city, where locals and tourists alike can experience the charm and vibrancy of Parisian life. As evening approaches, the pace of life slows down even further. Parisians might gather at a local cafe for an aperitif, engaging in lively conversations as they watch the world go by. Dinner is a lengthy affair, where the food is savored and conversations linger long into the night. As the day draws to a close, the city lights up, and Parisians enjoy the evening in their own unique ways. Some might choose to take a moonlit stroll by the Seine, while others may prefer to enjoy the view from their balconies. But no matter how they choose to spend their evenings, one thing remains constant: the allure and charm of Parisian life. In Paris, culture is not just an aspect of life, it is life. The very air in Paris is steeped in a rich cultural heritage that has been centuries in the making. It's a city where art isn't confined to museums and galleries, but spills into the streets, cafes, and the very soul of its inhabitants. From the iconic Impressionists to contemporary street artists, the Parisian love affair with art is a passionate and enduring one. It's a city that doesn't just observe art, but lives it, breathes it, and creates it. And then there's the language. French, with its melodic cadence and poetic rhythm, is more than a means of communication in Paris. It's a linguistic ballet, an art form in itself, and a cornerstone of Parisian culture. It's the language of Voltaire, of Proust, of Hugo. To speak French in Paris isn't just to converse, but to participate in a rich cultural tradition that dates back centuries. Fashion, too, is deeply woven into the fabric of Parisian culture. This is the city that birthed haute couture, after all. Paris is where Coco Chanel reinvented women's fashion, where Yves Saint Laurent pushed boundaries, and where Christian Dior dreamed up the new look. Parisians don't just wear clothes, they make statements, they tell stories. But let's not forget about food. Oh, the food. In Paris, food isn't just sustenance, it's an experience. It's the lingering over a croissant in a sidewalk cafe, the savoring of a rich coq au vin in a bustling bistro, the delight in a simple baguette from a neighborhood bakery. Parisians don't just eat food, they celebrate it. And then there's the intellectual allure of Paris. It's a city that values deep, thoughtful conversations and intellectual curiosity. Parisians don't just talk, they debate, they philosophize, they ponder. In Paris, culture is not just appreciated, it is lived. Parisians have a certain je ne sais quoi about them, don't they? That elusive quality, that indefinable charm that makes them so uniquely Parisian. It's something that's been pondered over by poets, philosophers, and travelers alike. There's a certain pride that Parisians carry, a pride for their city, their heritage, and their culture. Paris, after all, isn't just a city for them, it's a symbol of history, of art, of fashion, and of life itself. It's the embodiment of all they hold dear, and they take immense pride in sharing it with the world. Yet there's also a reputation that Parisians have of being somewhat aloof. But is it aloofness really, or is it merely a deep-seated belief in the value of personal space and privacy? In a city as bustling and as vibrant as Paris, perhaps it's only natural to seek a little solitude amidst the crowd. Then there's the language. Oh, the language. The Parisians' love for French is well known. It's more than just a means of communication for them. It's an art, a song, a dance. Each word, each phrase is savored, relished, and celebrated, and they're fiercely protective of it too. After all, language is an integral part of their identity, of their heritage. But let's not forget about their traditions. From their daily rituals to their grand celebrations, Parisians hold on to their customs with a dedication that's truly admirable. Whether it's the simple pleasure of a leisurely stroll along the Seine or the grandeur of Bastille Day celebrations, traditions are cherished and upheld, adding another layer to the rich tapestry of Parisian life. So yes, Parisians may seem a bit distant at first, they might even come across as a tad bit intimidating, but scratch beneath the surface, and you'll find a warmth, a charm, a joie de vivre that's truly infectious. They might march to the beat of their own drum, but that's precisely what makes them so fascinating. Despite their reputation, Parisians have a warmth and charm that is all their own. Living in Paris isn't all croissants and café au lait, though. As you delve deeper into the Parisian life, you'll find that it comes with its fair share of challenges. Let's start with the cost of living. Paris, famously known as the City of Lights, is one of the world's most expensive cities. The cost of just about everything, from groceries to a simple cup of coffee, can be quite steep. Renting an apartment? Prepare to shell out a significant portion of your income. Buying property? Well, that's a whole different ballgame. The prices are sky high, especially in the sought-after arrondissements. Next, we move on to the living spaces. Parisian apartments are known for their charm and character, but they're also notoriously small. Space is a luxury in this bustling city. Don't be surprised if your Parisian home is the size of a shoebox. It's all about making the most of what you have. You'll soon get creative with storage solutions and learn to live with less. Now let's talk about transportation. Paris has a robust public transportation system, but it can be crowded, especially during peak hours. The metro can feel like a can of sardines, and buses aren't much better. Plus, strikes are quite common and can disrupt your daily commute. But hey, Paris is a walkable city, and there's always the option of biking. And then there's the language barrier. If you're not fluent in French, navigating through daily life can be a bit tricky. But don't worry, most Parisians appreciate it when you make an effort to speak their language, even if it's just a few phrases. Lastly, the bureaucracy. Oh, the bureaucracy. Dealing with paperwork in France can be a true test of patience, but once you get the hang of it, it's just another part of the Parisian experience. But despite these challenges, for many, the charm of Paris is worth it all. After all, who wouldn't want to call this beautiful, vibrant, and culturally rich city home? So, what does it really mean to be Parisian? That's the question we've been exploring, and the answer is as rich and layered as a perfect croissant. The Parisian experience is an exquisite blend of tradition and modernity. It's about honoring the past while eagerly embracing the future. Parisians are custodians of a rich heritage, from the grandeur of the Louvre to the bohemian charm of Montmartre. They understand the value of their history, the stories etched into the cobblestone streets, the tales whispered by the Seine. Yet, they're also forward thinkers, innovators in fields like fashion, gastronomy, and technology. The Parisian experience is also a balance of challenges and rewards. Life in Paris isn't always postcard perfect. It can be tough with the hustle of the city, the high cost of living, and the occasional bout of infamous Parisian rudeness. But these challenges are outshone by the rewards. Imagine the thrill of witnessing the Eiffel Tower glitter at night, the joy of a leisurely picnic in the Champ de Mars, or the simple pleasure of biting into a fresh baguette from your neighborhood boulangerie. Moreover, being Parisian is about the unique blend of individuality and community. Parisians are known for their strong sense of self, their style, their attitude. They're unapologetically themselves. Yet they're also part of a tight-knit community, bound by a shared love for their city, a shared understanding of its quirks, and a shared resilience in the face of adversity. The Parisian experience, then, is a symphony of contrasts, a dance between the old and the new, the hardships and the delights, the self and the collective. It's about soaking in the city's beauty, while also acknowledging its flaws. It's about finding joy in the mundane, finding magic in the everyday. Being Parisian, it seems, is not just about living in Paris, but about embracing its spirit. It's about cherishing the city's heartbeat, the rhythm that pulses through its boulevards and alleyways, the melody that whispers in its cafes and bistros. Being Parisian is not just a geographical reality, but a state of mind, a way of life. It's no wonder that Paris has captured the hearts of so many. Let's pause for a moment and reflect on the enchanting allure of the City of Love. Paris, with its rich history, iconic landmarks, and vibrant culture, is undeniably a city like no other. But it's not just about the Eiffel Tower or the Louvre. It's about the Parisian way of life, the joie de vivre that permeates every cobblestone street and every corner cafe. Living in Paris is not just about residing in a city, it's about embracing a unique perspective on life. It's about understanding that life is not a race to the finish, but a leisurely stroll along the Seine. It's about savoring the moment, whether that's enjoying a glass of wine at a sidewalk cafe or simply taking the time to admire the city's stunning architecture. The Parisians have this unique ability to find joy in the everyday, to transform the mundane into the magnificent. They understand that life is not meant to be rushed, but to be savored. They know that the beauty of life lies in the simple pleasures, like the aroma of freshly baked bread wafting through the morning air, or the soft glow of the city lights reflecting on the river at night. But living like a Parisian is not about mimicking their lifestyle. It's about adopting their mindset. It's about appreciating the art of slow living, about understanding that the journey is just as important, if not more so, than the destination. It's about finding beauty in the ordinary and pleasure in the simple things. So, as we conclude our journey through the City of Love, let's take a moment to appreciate the magic of Paris. Let's celebrate the Parisian spirit, their zest for life, their undying love for their city. Let's learn from them and strive to incorporate a little bit of that Parisian charm into our own lives. So to live like a Parisian, perhaps all we need to do is slow down, appreciate the finer things, and of course, have a croissant or two,